course, we don't actually have any search teams out today, but we're working on that. Don't think we had any out yesterday either. It's been a while, actually. But that will change, because we're setting them up all over the world. I think I told you my story about the license plates and how I tried to get everyone in line to get into groups. They would be search party number 1, number 2. I was going to organize it and label it by numbers. They didn't like that, so I thought, well, I'll change it. And I said, okay, well, then you can be Group A, Group B, Group D, G, so forth. And no Group E, because that would stand for Elvis, because everybody is Group E. We're all Elvis people. But anyway, that didn't work out either. I don't know what they wanted. So, of course, then the policeman, of course, he wanted to be on the search team because he came right over to me. And I was like, well, hello there. I said, of all people in the license place that want to be on the license center, to want to be on the Elvis search team, it would be the police officer, which I thought was appropriate because they're trained in, you know, finding people. And so I tried to recruit him for the search team. I was going to let him head up a search team on his own without... I would just assist him, and I give some guidance and some guidelines to him. But I would let him pretty much do his own thing with his search team. I told him he'd be taking Group A. I'd give him the first team that I organized there in the license center. He didn't like that, neither did they. I don't know what the problem was. I think the flu was going around. They were all having a bad day because they would not cooperate with me. I asked them kindly to get in a line right now. And get in a group. They were already in a line in the license center. They would not cooperate appropriately, so I just said, well, from here to this point to this person is Group A. And I just told them that way, maybe they would understand. I tried to tell this police officer, you are in charge of Group A, because he was dragging me out of the license plate. I guess he wanted place. He wanted to talk to me outside and get more of a briefing of what he was supposed to do. I think he was concerned, embarrassed, you know, that he wouldn't understand what I was saying, or that he would not really know how to do a search party. I understand a lot of police officers, they kind of work alone, or with their little buddies. You know, you see them at the gas stations looking for Elvis, and they're just sitting there watching the road. Of course, I'm laughing at him. I'm like, Elvis isn't in the road. You gotta go find him. But anyway, these police officers, they have not been trained in the proper Elvis searching techniques. That bothers me. Our society has let us down. We're paying so many tax dollars in police enforcement, and they don't even know how to enforce searching for Elvis. But I'm teaching them one by one cop by one police officer. Because I was taught as a little boy, you don't call them cops. I don't know why. You call them police officers, but that's a whole lot more to say, and I get tongue-tied, so sometimes I slip and say cop by accident. But anyway, so I took this officer, you know, I took him outside. He was dragging me. And I told him, I said, sir, there's nothing to worry about. Do not be embarrassed. His face was very red, and I knew that was embarrassment written all over his face. And I said, sir, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. You will understand this. I will break it down for you. And of course, I told him, thank you for taking me outside so that we could have a private discussion about this. Of course, he did not want to talk a long time. He was actually very quick about it. Pretty much left me out there. Told me not to come back in. I guess he wanted to do the search parties himself. I think he was jealous of me. So I guess he went back in a lot, but thankfully he went back in there, organized the search parties, and we already, I'm sure, have some parties ready to go, thanks to him. And I believe he'll be getting back in touch with me. I gave him my number, tried to give him my number. He threw it on the ground there, but I know, I'm sure he went back and got it. Because that would be littering, and then I would be arresting him. And I know he does not want a $500 ticket for littering. And especially when it says Elvis Jr.'s phone number on it. Which I told him that it said that there could be an extra penalty for throwing that on the ground because of it being Elvis Jr.'s phone number. He said, no, sir, there was not. And I said, yes, sir, there was, and that he needed to get informed on the rules of the world, the laws of the land. And he was not a good listener, I will say that. I will have to say that about this police officer. He was not a good listener. Poor guy, bless his soul. But I tried to help him. And, well, that was my story at the license plate place. I keep saying license plate. I don't know why. It slips. It's license center, basically. Here in Chattanooga. So, but we're educating Chattanooga on Elvis. And, it's a lot of work. So.
Let's get dirty.